Picture this. You've just brought home your precious bundle of joy, and within the first week, you've accidentally put a diaper on backwards, tried to burp a sleeping baby for 20 minutes, and somehow convinced yourself that your newborn is giving you actual meaningful looks. Sound familiar? Well, congratulations. You've officially joined the hilarious club of new parent mistakes that literally every single parent on Earth has made. I'm going to share with you the 7 most universally funny mistakes that new parents make. And more importantly, how to fix them without losing your sanity or your sense of humor. Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll realize that these blunders aren't just normal. They're practically a rite of passage into parenthood.
Let's kick things off with mistake number 1, the great diaper disaster. Look, if you've ever stood there holding a diaper like it's some kind of impossible origami puzzle, welcome to the club. You'd think something designed for sleep-deprived zombies would be idiot-proof, right? Wrong.
Parents put these things on backwards at least once in those first chaotic days, and I'm convinced diaper companies should just print front and back in giant letters.
I've personally witnessed a dad spend a solid 10 minutes wrestling with the tabs, muttering increasingly creative curse words, only to discover he was trying to stick them to his kid's actual belly. Not the diaper, the belly! His wife just stood there filming it for posterity. Here's the fix, and I promise it's easier than assembling IKEA furniture. Tabs go in the back, where butts are. The wider part wraps around the waist. Those little elastic things around the legs, they should actually touch the legs, not dangle there like sad little wings. Most diapers literally have cute little pictures showing you which end is up, because apparently we need that. And here's the real talk. Make it snug. I know you're worried about cutting off circulation or whatever, but a loose diaper is just a poop time bomb waiting to ruin your favorite shirt. Mistake number 2 is what I call the phantom cry syndrome. New parents become absolutely convinced that they can hear their baby crying when the baby is completely silent. You'll find yourself creeping into the nursery at 2 in the morning, heart racing, only to find your little one sleeping peacefully. Meanwhile, when your baby actually is crying, you might not hear it because you're so exhausted, or because you've conditioned yourself to expect false alarms. The solution here is to trust your instincts, but also trust technology. A good baby monitor can help you distinguish between real cries and house-settling noises. More importantly, give yourself permission to not check on your baby every single time you think you hear something. Babies are surprisingly resilient, and a few extra minutes of crying won't hurt them. The third mistake is the overpacking phenomenon. New parents pack diaper bags like they're preparing for a month-long expedition to Antarctica, even if they're just going to the grocery store for 20 minutes. These bags become so heavy and stuffed with unnecessary items that carrying them becomes a workout in itself. Here's the reality check you need. For short trips, you only need 1 or 2 diapers, a small pack of wipes, maybe a change of clothes, and a pacifier if your baby uses one. That's it. You don't need 17 different toys, 4 blankets, 3 changes of clothes, and enough snacks to feed a small army. Start small and add items only as you discover you actually need them. Mistake number 4 is the temperature panic. New parents become obsessed with their baby's temperature, constantly feeling foreheads, adjusting clothing, and worrying that their baby is either too hot or too cold. They'll add layers when the baby feels slightly cool, then remove everything when the baby feels warm, creating a constant cycle of clothing changes that probably bothers the parent more than the baby. The trick is learning that babies regulate temperature differently than adults. Feel the back of their neck or their chest rather than their hands and feet, which are often cool even when the baby is comfortable. Dress them in 1 more layer than you're wearing, And remember that slightly cool is usually better than too warm. The fifth mistake involves feeding anxiety. New parents worry constantly about whether their baby is eating enough, eating too much, eating too often, or not eating often enough. They'll wake sleeping babies to feed them, or panic when a baby doesn't finish a bottle, or stress when breastfeeding doesn't go exactly according to the books they've read. Relax. Healthy babies are remarkably good at self-regulating their food intake. If your baby is gaining weight appropriately and having regular wet diapers, they're probably eating just fine. Follow your baby's cues rather than rigid schedules, especially in the first few weeks when everything is still getting established. Mistake number 6 is the developmental comparison trap. New parents constantly compare their baby's development to other babies, to milestone charts, to what they read online, or to what their friends' babies are doing. They'll worry if their baby isn't rolling over by exactly 4 months, or isn't babbling specific sounds at specific times. Remember that developmental ranges exist for a reason. Some babies walk at 9 months, others at 15 months, and both are completely normal. Focus on your baby's individual progress, rather than comparing them to others. If you have genuine concerns, talk to your pediatrician rather than consulting random internet forums. The final mistake is trying to maintain pre-baby life standards. New parents often attempt to keep their house spotless, maintain their previous social schedules, cook elaborate meals, and basically pretend that nothing has changed except for this small additional human who surely won't disrupt everything. Here's your permission slip to lower your expectations. Your house will be messier. You'll order takeout more often, and you'll probably cancel plans sometimes. This isn't failure, it's adaptation. Focus on what truly matters and let everything else slide temporarily. The beautiful truth about all these mistakes is that they're temporary. They're universal. And they're actually signs that you care deeply about doing right by your baby. Every parent makes them, survives them, and eventually laughs about them. So give yourself grace, trust your instincts, and remember that perfect parenting doesn't exist, but good enough parenting works wonderfully.
If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Your engagement means everything. When you like, subscribe, or comment, it tells me that what I'm creating matters. Your support truly makes a difference. And always remember, guide with logic, lead with love.